Hi, welcome to Feminism on Trial. So, we've got a situation there in Tennessee with this cop named Megan Hall. And apparently, she she exercised her sexual freedom with at least 5 male officers, including having a threesome. Just totally like orgy type stuff. Oh, by the way, did I mention she was married? She was married to a park ranger guy. Looks like a really nice guy. Looks like personally, he looks like he's out of her league. The park ranger, her husband, looks like he's out of her league. Also, just looking at pictures of the cops that she had relations with, they look out of her league too. But that's okay, because this is not my quote. This is not my usual what I would say, but guys will do a hole in the wall. And I suppose they will if something's available and they have no moral or ethical reason inside of them to say, I'm not gonna do that, then they'll do it. So they're wrong for doing it, obviously, the male cops. They're wrong for participating in this and taking her up on her advances or availability, if you will. But I'm gonna hold her accountable. Come on, chick. What are you doing? Why are you such a slut? Why haven't I heard that word in all the coverage of her? I have it in my notes, slutty cop. That's at the top of my paper. So this is the title of this topic. You can't say that, you can't slut shame. So how did we get here where there's this chick on the police force, and she ends up sleeping with, which is a really nice way to say it, with 5 male officers? How do we get here? Well, let's backtrack. We had the sexual revolution in the 60s and 70s. We had birth control. So we have sex without responsibility. We have sex without accountability. And why? Why? Because it's freedom, it's expression, it's, it means I'm independent. And no, it means you're a slut, is what it means. It means you're a slut. It means you don't respect your husband. Oh, pardon me. Supposedly, they were in an open marriage. An open marriage is not a marriage. It's either a marriage or it's not a marriage. Come on. Why is no one saying this either? It's either a marriage or it's not a marriage. Don't say that. And then this poor husband, he's saying, he wasn't, some of the articles and things I've read, he wasn't quite on board with the open relationship. Translation, he was not on board. He's not on board. Most men, if they're married to a woman, they're not going to want to share. And furthermore, we know that men do not have the availability of women, especially if they're not the top percent of men. They don't have the availability of all these women to enjoy this open relationship, this open marriage. So he's not, the man's not doing anything. He's not having orgies. He's not sleeping with a bunch of chicks. He's just married to a slut. What? Let's just say it. Chick, you're a slut, and it's nasty. You're nasty. And what diseases are you bringing home? And it's so disrespectful. And the husband says he's going to stay with her. Why? You're she doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't love you. We can have a whole other conversation about whether women can love or not love, but clearly this one can't. I mean, if we just take it case by case, this one can't. She doesn't respect you. She doesn't respect a marriage. It's not a marriage if it's open. This poor guy, I mean, I just think with other men aren't going to respect him. Other women aren't going to respect him. Not that it matters, because he's stuck to this one, apparently. He wants to be. I just feel like, where's your self-respect, guy? Do you think that you have to? Do you think you have to take this? Do you think, talking to the husband now, do you think if you stand up and say, hey, you're being a slut, I wanted a marriage, I'm leaving. Why are you staying with her? Is it because you don't think you'll ever get anybody else? Is it because you think you deserve this? Is it because you think, feminism has taught you that this is just her freedom and that she has the right to behave this way? She does have the right. We all have the right. But it doesn't mean it's right. It doesn't mean you just have to accept it. But feminism is like, hey, women, do whatever you want. Do whatever you want. You won't be accountable. It's just you expressing yourself, and you have the right, and woohoo! And guys are just rolling over, taking it. Don't. Stop it. Stop enabling this behavior. The guys who had sex with the cop, on duty, by the way, they're enablers. They knew she was married. The husband who's staying with her, enabler. These women can't behave this way if they're not being enabled. I'm glad she's being fired. I'm glad those other officers are being fired. Yes, they're being fired for having sex, but they were having sex on duty. So, fire them. Let there be a consequence. But there are people still out there saying, oh, well, you're just firing her because she had sex. Like, that's wrong. Feminism can thrive. The evils of feminism can thrive because we're enabling it. We're enabling this slutty behavior. We're enabling this unprofessional behavior. So really the only thing wrong was that it was on duty? Okay. Do we really believe that? Have we distanced ourselves so much from what is right and wrong that we think that this should be okay? And nobody is saying, hey, hubby, you can do way better. I mean, you should be able to do way better. If chicks were actually looking for good guys, you can do way better. But being alone is better than being with this slut. You can't trust her. You can't trust her. She has disrespected you in front of the whole nation now. Just call it what it is. And little slutty chick, those guys having sex with you doesn't mean you're valuable. In fact, it's the other way around. I don't know who in your life told you that guys willing to stick it in you means you're valuable. It's not true. And it's another lie of feminism. So, with that said, have a great day. Avoid the sluts. Don't enable it. Just don't. You're just empowering the wrong things. And chicks, stop being sluts, okay? Just value yourself more and be like, this is precious. This is reserved. I know, like that'll happen. But I will still scream into the wind. Have a great day, you guys.